Hey, how are you? Hey, you want to see my little mouse? I love this thing. All right, there's a small problem with these O-rings. They come with a KTM cylinder head. I don't think anybody did anything malicious. I think there's a big problem in the KTM community where there's a lot of motorcycle companies that just want a little snippet of the customer base, and they will pretty much sell anything at a good price trying to gain some money. Even companies that you would assume would be smarter than what they're doing. It just kind of all comes down to money, I think, and grabbing a piece of the market. And maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about when I get done with this deal here. But the problem is these heads, they're all held in place by O-rings, and this is a two-piece head. So obviously you have your combustion chamber insert here in the cylinder head, and there's an O-ring in the top of it, and that fits into the shell. And then the shell is what holds everything into, these things are such a pain in the butt sometimes. It holds everything into the actual cylinder. You have your outer ring here for water control, and then you have your inner ring here for water control and compression control. The problem is they have to be the correct size to keep the cylinder head insert from shifting around. So if you buy the real KTM O-rings, these three O-rings here, they're kind of misleading as far as the sizes listed. For example, if you went into the OEM parts finder and you looked up this outside O-ring, it would say that it's 78 millimeters by 2 millimeters. So you might buy an O-ring thinking that, oh, this is too expensive. I'm not spending the money on this good Viton O-ring. I'll buy a cheaper one. I could buy one. I could look it up from Amazon or McMaster Car or eBay or whatever. And you find these gasket kits as well, that the motorcycle industry makes. And you would get these things, but then you would find out that they're not the actual size that they should be. They're actually American sizes, not metric sizes, and they're too small. That's where a huge problem has been coming into play. I'm going to zoom in here and let me just show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about. So this side here, these are the KTM actual O-rings. This side here, these are O-rings that come from a company called Cometic. Now Cometic makes a lot of gaskets, but they also private label things. They sell to companies like Pro-X and Moose, which is sold through Parts Unlimited. And even though they have different base gaskets, they make all the kits. So here's where one of the problems comes into play. Here's this middle O-ring. Measure it out. 2.06, 2.07. Here's the one from the Moose off-road kit that's sold through Parts Unlimited. 1.97, 1.96. You're all, who cares? Well, we all care. Here's the top O-ring, the one that's in the top of this insert, right here. 2.51, 2.50. Here's the one for the Moose kit, 2.36. So maybe you have figured it out. Undersized O-rings, huge problem. Why? Well, because this insert can now move up and down. It's not being held in there tight. When it moves up and down, compression can leak past this O-ring into the water jacket and out through the top of the shell. Water can leak into the combustion chamber, cause huge problems. Pressure can leak from the combustion chamber into the water jacket, causing huge problems, boiling over. The bike can run like crap because it's getting water in there. I mean, it's all kinds of issues. They need to be held separate. So these being undersized, which are basically just being sold as American size, probably a cheaper quality of Buna O-ring instead of a Viton, that's detrimental. And a lot of companies, KTM dealerships, just use these kits because they can get them cheap to rebuild your motor. Now, it's nothing against the shops. It's honestly nothing even against even places like Moose. Like, they don't know. I don't think they know. They just know that they can get a good deal having these things made from Kinetic. Who's ever originally putting it together, the blame lies on you. You're causing people problems. Let me tell you how I figured it out. So I had just changed a few things, okay, and I did actually change the gaskets. Now, I had the top end these O-rings from one of those aftermarket companies. I didn't know, right? You just assume everything's good. I had put it together. I ran it. The bike was lower on power, and I go, what the hell, you know? And so I checked leak down like I normally do, and I sprayed the soapy water all around it and checked leak down and everything. And leak down was actually fine, but there still happened to be soapy water around this top of this joint here. It was all around here from when I had checked it. So I decided to check compression, wondering, oh, did I hurt something in the top end? And I checked compression. Compression was lower. It was 5 PSI lower, but on top of that, there was soapy water bubbles coming out from around this area right here. And I'm all, what the heck, man? That's when I took it apart. I thought all I had changed was these O-rings. I measured these and I measured the stock ones. These were undersized. I go, wow, you gotta be kidding me. I put stock ones back in, everything was fixed. So I called quite a few people that I thought maybe be using these things. I said, you better watch out for this if you're having issues. They're going, we're all kind of having issues. They checked them, they changed things around, all their problems went away. So this basically is just a public service announcement. I wouldn't stray from the non-KTM O-rings. Base gaskets is one thing, but man, just cover your butt. And if you have switched this kind of stuff, you're not sure where it's from, it might explain some of your issues. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Back to work.